Hi guys, it's Ali from Winged Reviews on Bookish Days, and it's Saturday. Sorry, I'm trying to eat and film at the same time. This week we've been talking about books that we think are underrated or unknown, that we really like, that should get more attention. And so I've picked a couple of mine. I've got one children's book, a couple of YA, and one that's more sort of adultish. So yeah, I'll start with the children's book, and it's Going Solo. I don't know if you can see that. Going Solo by Roald Dahl. And obviously I know that Roald Dahl is not unknown, but this book definitely is. I got this in his box set. I've got a box set of 10 of his books, and this was the only book out of the box set that I didn't know. And it's actually his autobiography. Well, it's the second part of his autobiography, and usually I don't like autobiographies, but this one is really good and it's really interesting. And it's about his time spent in Africa, his first job, which was in Africa, and it's also about his experiences in the First World War, also in Africa. And it's just so interesting, and I was hooked, and I just couldn't believe some of the stuff that he'd gone through in his life before he became this famous author and gave us such things as Matilda and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and things like that. And his squadron that he flew in, out of however many people that was in his squadron, like 100 or something like that, there was only like a few that lived at the end, that came out alive of the war. And I just think it's amazing that he is one of them, and then he went on to become this world famous author. And I don't know, the writing is brilliant. The writing is just like his storybooks, his children's books. Everything about it pulls you in, and it's just like reading one of his storybooks. And there's pictures documenting things, documenting his time in the war, and there's even a photo of his plane that he flew, his Hurricane. So yeah, I think that this needs more credit than it gets. The next two, the young adult ones. The first is Ice by Sarah Beth Durst, and she's the author of Enchanted Ivy, which I've got on Kindle, and which is about gargoyles, I think. I've not read it yet. And Drink, Slay, Love, the new-ish vampire one. And this one is amazing. It's actually about the Polar Bear King, and it's about this girl, Cassie, who makes a deal with the Polar Bear King to rescue her mother. She has to become the polar bear's wife. That might sound a bit strange, and I thought it sounded strange before I read it, but when you read it, it's not. It's so much more than that. It's kind of magical, and the polar bear, he is the Polar Bear King, but he can turn into anything else as well, so he's a man sometimes and things. So, and it's so unique and so bizarre, but so compelling. I just couldn't put it down, and it's such an adventure, and I just really wish more people knew about this book. So yeah. The other young adult one I picked is a duet. Oh, pardon me, hiccups. A duet, and it is the Dream Hunter duet by Elizabeth Knox. So just the two books, the Dream Hunter, which has such a pretty cover, and the Dream Quake, which is the second part. It's kind of one story, but split into two parts really. And it's about this magical world called the Place, where only dream hunters can enter the place, and it's where they go and catch dreams. And then when they've caught a dream, they come out and they basically play these dreams to people at these like theatres, these dream theatres. So people come into the theatre, and instead of like sitting in a seat to watch a show, there's like all beds that go all the way around the theatre. And so they go to sleep, and then the dream hunter goes to sleep in the centre, and when she goes to sleep, the dream is played back to them, and people pay to experience these dreams because they're not just dreams, they're like real, and you feel like you're in it. And so yeah, and so it's this big booming business of dream hunters, and it's about this girl who becomes a dream hunter, and she goes into the place and she catches a nightmare, and it's really good, it's really exciting. And I don't know anybody else who has read these books, so I wish people would read those. And then the last one that I've picked, which is more classed as adult, but I'm not sure. But it's Angelology by Danielle Trussoni. And oh my god, this is one of my favourite books of all time. This is not... I think people put off this because they think angels, they think Hush Hush or Fallen or the Angel series or like YA type angels, and it's not. It's like... it's more like the Da Vinci Code mixed with, oh, what's that film? National Treasure? It's kind of like that. And it's set, part of it is set now, like the first part, and then the middle part is set like during the war, and then the last part comes back to now. And it's all about this artifact that the Nephilim angels, who are really evil and scary in this book, are trying to get hold of because they can rule mankind with this artifact. And this girl, this woman, the people in this, the good thing about this is they're not young adult people, they are people in their 20s and 30s, so that's why I think it's more adult. But Sister Evangeline, she's this nun, she is trying to help find this artifact with the help of another nun, whose point of view we go back to, as I say, halfway through. And you know, it's all clues and mysteries, and yeah, and it's amazing. I read this for quite a biggish book with really small writing. I read this in like 3 days and I was amazed, and then I forced my boyfriend to read it as well because I was like, you've got to read this book, man, it's amazing. And he loved it too. So yeah, I really want people to read this book more. And she's been writing a sequel for about 2 years. She takes such time to put a lot of effort into this story. So I want more people to read Angelology. Read it. So yeah, that's my picks for this week. If you have anything that you think is underrated or isn't seen enough of, please leave me a comment and let me know, and I'll go and check it out. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.